Hi, Will from Music Tech here at the NAMM show in Anaheim with Dave from Bitwig. Dave, how are you doing?
I'm good, thank you.
Excellent. And what we're looking at today is Bitwig Studio 3, correct?
Correct. 3 is coming, and it has inside of it something we're calling the grid, which is basically a fully modular sound design environment.
Okay, so what exactly does that mean for a user then?
For a user, it means if you want to make a polyphonic synthesizer, this is a place you could do it. If you want to make an audio effect for your performance rig, you could do that. If you want to just take some patches and tweak them, that's just as easy. We've tried to make the workflow streamlined and quick and fun and usable.
Should we go and take a look at how that works then?
Yeah, that'd be great. So this session we had playing has a number of different tracks. I might pull up one. So the grid itself, the way it presents itself, looks like common modules like you might be used to. But a couple important principles. For us, any signal can go anywhere, so it's completely free in terms of how you connect things around.
And is that regardless of whether it's an audio signal or a control signal?
We make no distinction.
Okay, great.
Yeah, so if you want your microphone to gate an envelope, go to town. It's going to work.
Okay.
So this patch here, if I just hold a note for a second. Part of what you're getting is just a layered bunch of sounds that I can mix through with our standard type of modulators to pull different things in and out as we
So you're just using an XY grid here?
Yep. Yep. And touch-friendly like the rest of Bitwig. But then in terms of the interactions, maybe this bass sound that's here, the lower note, I just want it to be a little bit beefed up. I could grab a distortion, let's say, drop it on the patch cord. It's wired in without me having to even create a chord or anything else. If that's not ugly enough, I could pick something else, swap it out. So it's an environment with a lot of modules. It's easy to make sounds, and pretty quickly you're tuning them and making what's good for you.
And how exactly does that fit into the rest of the Bitwig environment then?
Sure. The grid, at this point, it lives in a family of devices. There's a polygrid for the polyphonic, a monogrid for mono or droning type sounds, like a performable texture thing, and then the effects grid if you want to make processors. So within those devices, the grid is there. It works exactly the same. It's exactly the same modules. There's just different expressions depending on what you want to use it for.
And it's called the grid because it all sits on a grid, like a sort of digital version of a Euro rack, essentially, is it?
More or less. I mean, the grid, instead of a rack, you're always talking about a fixed number of units.
Right.
So with the grid, it's just open. I mean, there's as much as you want to add. You want to grow it vertically? Okay, fine. There's no starting point. It's fair game.
Okay, great. So when will this be available and how much will it cost?
It's included for anybody who has Bitwig. So if you're a current user, you'll get it on day one. But this release particularly would be Q2 of this year we're aiming for. If you're a new user, that would be $399 for a regular license, which includes everything.
Okay, great. Thanks very much, Dave.
Yeah, thank you for the
Cheers.
time.